Bro,
Yes.
did you know your ancestors used to eat dinner in the morning?
No. That sounds a
You
bit
don't.
odd. I feel like that might be something related to language, though. Maybe breakfast used to be called dinner. I don't know.
Could have been. So the evolution of breakfast is a concept that me and you, many humans around the world, most of them actually, take for granted.
I never really thought about it.
In the modern age, many physicians have studied this meal in the day, the first meal of the day, and have found that the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So today, this video, this short clip, we will be discussing the history of breakfast, where it came from.
Yeah.
But while doing so, we will be cooking our own traditional breakfast. Us bros will be cooking a breakfast. Our traditional breakfast consists of bacon, eggs, toast. But however, we won't do toast. We'll be doing crumpets.
Yeah, because it's more fun.
So we're doing like an egg McMuffin kind of thing.
We're going to be doing it on this here 3D printer, just, for science.
Science exploration.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah,
I do propose that we'll be here for quite some time.
I think so.
Simply because it only gets up to 100 degrees. But
Yeah.
hey, let's have it.
Can us bros make breakfast with a 3D printer? Righty, so we'll be making our bacon egg crumpets. We got our back bacon, enterprise bacon. Our crumpets in a bottle.
Yeah, we've used some.
We may have had some. It was kind of
Yeah,
3/4.
man's got to eat.
Man's got to eat.
Got some barn eggs. I do think they probably are from the barn, but I think this is the brand name.
Yeah, I think that's a brand.
Strange,
So,
anyways.
they're still hand fed though,
Alright,
The
well,
farmers love their eggs.
I'm going to be cooking it on that 3D printer.
Yeah.
What temperature is it at?
Yeah, it's preheated to 100 degrees Celsius because that's the maximum my printer can go.
So it's not like the ideal temperature
No,
to cook
it's
stuff
not.
on, not at all. Eh?
Definitely going to take some time.
Okay, here is the egg.
So we'll be. I'm just gonna move seats here to view the action. We'll be making a crumpet, like an egg McMuffin kind of thing. A crumpet at the bottom, 2 layers or 2 slices of bacon, an egg, a bit of tomato sauce. In South Africa we call it maybe tea sauce with another crumpet on top. Cut it in half and divulge into that brilliant breakfast, morning champion breakfast. Nice, Keegan.
Thank you.
Well played.
I actually packed it quite well this time.
So, while we let that cook for a couple 100 minutes or so, because it does take some time.
So in this video we'll be talking about the history of breakfast and their cultural journey, around the world. So the word itself actually describes the action of breaking fast, which is a period in which a person does not eat.
Yeah.
Before the 13th century, dinner, or disner as it was known, was a term used to describe a meal eaten early in the morning, and it was actually part of the Old English language that described the term break a fast. It was not until the 1500s that the word breakfast became the colloquial term for an early meal.
Okay.
So, according to the archaeologists of the time, the earliest breakfast variations came from ancient empires such as Greece, Rome, and Egypt. These colonies, these empires relied a lot on grain-based foods such as wheat, rye, wild oats, as well as
the
barley.
natural to the countries.
Yeah, wherever they might find, they just figured this was the staple food.
Imagine the foraging back in those
It
days.
must have been such a hack. No turbine, no nothing.
Nothing.
No combine harvest.
No.
Must have sucked. So the people in these times actually used smooth and rounded stones to grind these grains down into almost a powder-like consistency.
Yeah.
And they'd mix that with water and boil it up to make a porridge, or they would actually use this kind of powder to make various other things such as pancakes and breads.
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Back then.
That wasn't quite what we know now with
I'm sure.
sugar, flour, eggs. It was just gross.
Those were bland, eh?
It's almost like a cauliflower pizza base. It's just average. So they would just cook those things over like
Yeah.
a hot stone over a fire. You
Yeah,
know?
those smooth ones, like thing that you get at the beach.
Yeah.
Those like big flat ones. They've been
I
graded
saw
away.
the strangest thing at the shop. It was a giant block of salt that said "put on fire, cook anything." Could be quite nice.
Like those
Like the Himalayan salt.
Yeah,
it was the exact
salt
same
lamps.
salt, and it was just a big block of salt. They said put it on the fire.
But those things melt, bro.
I don't know. It was odd.
But salt can hold temperature.
Yeah.
I've seen things cook in salt. People like fillets or I don't know, a meat.
Yeah, on
and then
salt.
they cover it in salt and put it in the fire, and it's like a kiln.
It was pretty cool.
It's like ceramic.
I'm
not
very
quite, but
curious,
yeah.
but I mean,
you should get
I'm,
one.
I'm not such a fan of salt.
No, salt
Alrighty.
dries the meat out and everything.
It's now time to take off the egg, and we're gonna cook some crumpets next.
Yeah.
It's gonna be quite a delicious task.
Two of them. Because we're making that egg McMuffin kind
Yeah.
of deal,
The egg looks a bit suspect,
Yeah.
so I think we'll just share the
It's
one.
still a bit gelatinous in its form.
It's plasticky,
Yeah.
if we're honest.
We've got some spatula tongs. These are very helpful in
Right,
these
Matt,
situations.
Get going, bro.
Alrighty.
Oh, it's coming off easy enough.
Yeah, very easy.
So, I would have preferred cereal because this egg looks awful. It actually
Yours
looks.
does,
It looks quite nice.
It looks inviting, but
The texture's awful.
yeah. So we're gonna set that aside.
Is it crumpet time?
Yeah.
Now, crumpet, for all you non-initiated, are basically what Americans call pancakes, except small. I believe it's a French term, but that's probably a lie. And we put it in a bottle to make it easy for pouring.
How
Very clever. It's a crumpet size, dude. No, that's about good enough. It's gonna spread a touch. Life hack. Not the 3D printer used to be like cook. Great English. Well, that sounds lovely. I think that'll do. Alright.
I don't know about you guys out there, but to me, I love some batter.
Tell us a bit more about breakfast there, Matt.
Well, so after the introduction, by the time the Middle Ages came, or rolled around, should I
Yeah.
say, the breakfasts were considered redundant and non-existent. This is due to some of the churches in those times. They were a bit suspect in the medieval period, and the people considered breakfast forbidden tasks because it promoted gluttony and overindulgences.
Yeah, it just seemed a bit excessive.
Yeah,
in
I
that
mean,
day and age.
for the working man or person or
These were
woman,
different times. This is
These were
when
much
people
different
like
times.
shared a sheep for Christmas.
not to eat,
Not
but
to eat,
ride.
like, yeah. I don't know if they rode sheep, but that would be funny.
So yeah, they overindulgence, so it was frowned upon, all of that. However, by the end of this period, the Middle Ages, the breakfast returned, and was now considered customary for noblemen and the people of high stature to eat these early morning meals. Usually consisted of wine or beer with bread, cheeses, and
Didn't include any meat.
no, didn't include any meat. This was because the meat was saved for the middle of the day meal. So they would have a breakfast, but it would be a smaller breakfast just to sustain themselves.
No, just to get
that-
ready for the day, kind
Exactly,
of.
yeah. So in the middle of the day, they would have these massive meals and spreads for days.
And then another snack, basically for supper as
for
we
dinner,
know it,
yeah, or dinner, or we don't know if it's dinner yet.
Yeah. fair enough.
So by the 15th century, now this is going back 519 years ago, breakfast became customary now again for all people. Continents like Africa traditionally indulged in fruits. It was very tropical area this
I mean, it
in
was
Africa.
just, they basically ate and drank stuff that was easy to find,
Yeah.
nothing too difficult to get their hands on.
Exactly, yeah. It was indigenous to the country.
Yeah.
So they indulged in fruits, some cereal grains, vegetables, along with meats. and milk and coffee. They actually had coffee back in those days.
Quite
Yeah.
interesting.
The other continents like Asia, the other countries like Asia consumed soups or rices with leeks. That was their local cuisine. And
Doesn't
then,
sound pleasant,
yeah, so I'd rather have the fruits and veggies.
Yeah. Rather
And
eat broccoli.
Europe and North America experimented with a variety of dishes that included fish, chicken, pork, some eggs, chocolates, pastries, you name it. They had all the things going for them. Croissants, yeah. So that's what they enjoyed and had.
Alright, so the crumpets are done. It's now time to put our bacon on.
The bacon.
Bacon. We are gonna have to leave it for quite some time because pork might take some time to cook.
We need to cook for safe. Alrighty.
It's been almost an hour now.
Yeah.
And I believe the bacon's done. Pass me the tongs,
I hope
please.
so. Now the tongues. Like I said.
They didn't sizzle.
No, not sizzling. It's like a slow cook.
But they look bloody nice.
Yeah, they turned out alright. I think it's all the fat.
The egg,
Yeah,
not so much.
egg not so much.
Get
So,
rid of those, please, sir.
another knife and fork.
Oh, dude, let's try it.
Plate up.
I think what we'll do is I'll just cut this.
No, put it on first. Just make a.
No, that's what I was scheming. Dude. I'm gonna cut the egg in
No,
half.
just put it on and then cut it.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Are we making like a sandwich?
Yeah, we said.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
I'll put the tomato sauce on. No, leave the tomato sauce for the ketchup.
The egg is disgusting.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Alrighty. There's a look at our sandwich.
Not bad. Really not bad. Really nice. I did give you most of the
Yolk.
So, as it stands, you can cook food on a 3D printer. It takes
Definitely.
long. There's far better ways to do it.
Mm.
But if you're in a pickle, you should.
And you have a
probably-
3D printer around.
Of course, because not everyone just has one of those lying about.
You can definitely make a makeshift egg McMuffin.
It was okay.
Ta-ta.